...2011 has been my most unique and incredible year. It's a very memorable year. I'm so glad that we taped everything, because when I look back, I'm going to want to watch it myself. Recording you, recording me, 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 recording you. It started off with the musical over in Boston. I was there for a month. Then the release of the book, Glaring Through Oblivion. Then 27 dates with System in 3 different continents. Armenia for 2 weeks, Lebanon, the orchestral shows, and coming back and making Orca, my first symphony, finishing up Harakiri, my new rock record, finishing up the jazz record, and Fucktronic, the electronic record, and this film, all in about 11 months. I had never been a fan of musicals before, and I had told that to Stephen as well as Diane, and Stephen knew that, and he's like, well, that's kind of why I want to work with you, to do something different than what's been done in musicals before. I didn't like the too safe approach to music, like overly poppy and really safe approach. So the musical, as far as composition, has, you know, jazz songs, electronic songs, rock songs, these moments of incredible kind of dense noise. Working on a musical as a composer is completely different than working on a film as a composer, or obviously doing a record, because of the ever-changing kind of landscape of the music. Until the last day we were making changes to the music. We're gonna go to
I know, but the form is still up.
No, I think I f***ed up.
Yeah. I had 8 more bars.
I had 8, you had 8 more bars?
Not 8 more.
I had 4 more.
We had just had 2 more.
bars.
I thought I'd never do a second poetry book, but it was worth doing it in a different form. Glaring Through Oblivion is a stunning visual thing for me. I'm so intrigued by Roger's visuals. I actually like having the book on my coffee table.
Well, nice pictures, bro. Randomly just kind of going across and gonna read stuff. The messenger speaks through chaos. Perfunctory permeations of functional neurons. Body milk ancestors, taskmaster chandeliers, flannel light tunnels, escapism in water. Every quadrant of my cells appeals to the distinction between omens and words.
The best aspect of touring for any artist, if I can speak for other people, is that 1 hour, 1.5 hour that you're on stage. I think it was Rock am Ring that had like at least 100,000 people, and I had my Contour HD camera that I would put on my head, and that energy is incredible to capture. It's 100,000 people, you realize by the time the audio reaches the guy in the back, he's jumping at a different rate than the guy in the front. So instead of everyone jumping up and down together, it's like this roll, this hill of jumping up and down. And I was recording that going, wow, this is incredible. This year we did, I want to say, about 27 dates with System of a Down, 2011. And they were great. You know, we hadn't toured since 2006 was the last tour that we did. Before that, Ozfest. And so we set up the dates and, you know, going right before going into rehearsals, I was a little nervous, you know. I mean, I had seen a couple of the guys here and there, obviously, but we hadn't really spent a lot of time together. All been working on our own projects and all that. So going into the rehearsals was like, oh, you know, like this little nervousness, like from day one, you know. And then went in and, you know, all the old jokes started again, and the comfort level just kind of rose immediately, and the tours were great. I think we played tighter than we had ever played, you know, together in all our lives as a band. It's like, we should have taken all these years off before, you know.
This is the Axis of Justice
Radio Network.
I'm Tom Morello.
I'm Serj Tankian.
And for the next hour, we are going to be spinning rebel jams of various genres and revealing dangerous truths.
Very dangerous. I'm always asked the question, do you think artists should talk about politics or social issues? And I'm like, everyone should be able to talk about politics and social issues. It's not just an artist domain. I got into activism, going to protests regarding awareness of the Armenian genocide.
I want us all to look at that gate, put up our right arms in protest, and I want us all to say, as president, I will recognize the Armenian genocide over and over and over again. Here we go. As president, I will recognize the Armenian genocide. As president, I will recognize the Armenian genocide. As president, I will recognize the Armenian genocide.
I was awarded with the highest Freedom Award by the Prime Minister's office in Armenia, which I'm very thankful of. I'm also thankful that he gave me about 40 minutes to sit down and talk about Armenia's state of affairs, politically, economically, socially, and I expressed a lot of things that they need to hear. So from Armenia this summer we went straight to Lebanon before coming back to the US, and we spent about 2 weeks there, played a show with the Lebanese National Symphony Orchestra. And I was born in Lebanon, and I was 7 years old when my parents migrated to the US, and I had never been back, you know, and so here I am like 30 or something years later, going back and checking out the house that I was born in. So when we rang on the doorbell, they recognized my dad and let us in. They recognized the last name. We walked up, and the two young boys in the house were fans of mine, turned out to be cousins of one of my best friends. Like a small world, you know? And they were amazing hosts. They let us in, and we sat down, and they made us coffee, and they had food, and funny enough, it was my birthday. So they brought out a cake, and it was very surreal being in the house that you're born in, and you know, you leave 7 years old, you come back in your 40s, and you're having your birthday there. Sergio, happy birthday, little guy. Orca, I would say, is my ultimate masterpiece. It's my first and only symphony so far. There are certain expressions that I could not communicate through my music until I did Orca. Certain sensitivities that I can't portray even through jazz, let alone rock, that Orca seemed to, without any words, convey so clearly and so emotionally.
That was really good, bro. The choruses sound great as far as patterns. The verses sound great. The pre-choruses, the Holocaust parts, they feel too straight. You could do a little more shuffle groove there. And what else? Rolls. Try to stay away from too many of the consistent snare rolls on this song.
and try to. That last roll you did, for example, was great because it was off time. It wasn't dega dega dish. It was more like dega dish. That kind of stuff's cool. Harakiri, LP3 solo record. It is the most natural record I've ever made. It came to me really easily, as rock music does, I guess. When I actually do the writing, I go in at a time where I've got everything else off the table. I don't have to worry about anything else. And I go in to have fun. It's playtime, you know? That's when music becomes great for me, is when I just do it for absolutely no reason whatsoever, you know? When I started writing Harakiri or the stuff on the iPad and stuff, I wasn't thinking of making a record. You know, I didn't have that in my mind at all. It just started expressing itself and these songs started coming, and then I'm like, fuck, I think I have a rock record.
All right.
Jazz record, wow, it's a great undertaking. I've really been enjoying working with one of the best flautists, Valery Tolstov, who lives in Switzerland and now in Berlin. Tikran Hamasyan, who is an amazing jazz pianist and keyboard player and artist, and one of my favorite trumpet players of all time, Tom Dupree. Stuart Copeland did some tracks on one of the songs, Distant Thing. We've got David Alpay, a friend of mine who's an amazing actor, who played solo violin on some of the songs, and Vincent Padula played on a couple of the tracks. And God, there's so many amazing artists that are contributing. It's like it's coming out to be a really unique sound, not just a typical jazz record, but things that go from like a classic jazz sound to like this crazy fusion-y vibe with some of the songs with like really cool Armenian, you know, Poplakov, Yerevan style jazz stuff going on. It's such a unique record. It's funky and it's like, it's got attitude, it's got edge, but it's a jazz record.
Hey, it's me. I just got fucking shot. I'm fucking shot. I don't believe this shit.
Factronic, mate. Oh, this is gonna be one of the funner things I'm doing this year.
That was good. That was good. I like that one. Do another one similar to that, and then I think that line's pretty good.
It's a British gangster soundtrack to a film that doesn't exist. You're a gangster. You're in a jazz club in Manchester, right? And there's this French guy.
The phone call one's fine. We just need to find an opposite voice.
That's right.
Like maybe it could be you or somebody.
Yeah,
we could do that. It doesn't have to be right now either. I have a couple other. The Russian thing I wanted to just throw him into the Russian.
That was awesome.
That
I
was
sent it to him. So
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I was gonna have you, but that one is minimal for you because it's pretty much just you getting thrown in there for probably something like get the fuck off me, you know, that kind of thing. Maybe some like movement stuff like
Yeah.
you know, and then he just goes on that fucking tirade, and then we're gonna have him. I'm gonna have him like stab your hand or something like that. So we'll have like a yelly thing where you're like, ah, my fuck, and I kind of show him and do the whole thing at the end.
I know that you hear me, but I must be certain that you understand me. I think now we are getting somewhere, don't you? Cool.
I think when you do what you love, somehow this extra energy comes in and you're able to kind of push more than you've ever done before. And in the end, that's all we got.
Now we are on the same page, no? Communication is very important.